Hi Kristen, welcome to the Community Living Golf Tournament. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play through. We'll put you back in your address position and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you here in your setup, let's just take a look at your posture. Your spine's nice and straight and on a slight tilt. Your legs come down, perhaps in maybe just a little bit too much of a bent position. You just really want to unlock your legs, but that's pretty solid right there. Your arms hang down out in front of you, club works out to the ball. So you're achieving really good posture. Just need to maybe improve the balance just a little bit. So I would take that entire position and I would just get your sternum and your head to rock forward out over your toes a little and displace your center of gravity a little bit more on the balls of the feet. That's going to drag the club a little bit further outside of the ball, so you just have to back away a little bit as you do that, because right now you're sort of sitting back on your heels a little. At this point in time, we can also take a look at your alignment. Your alignment looks really good. Feet are running in this direction. Theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet, and parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. So you're set up right down the center of the fairway, which is just excellent. At this point in time, we're going to do a little split screen comparison here between you and Chella Choi. We've got some color-coded lines on the screen just as a reference point as it pertains to swing plane. Before we go ahead and take a look at that, let's just go back to that posture balance image I was talking about. You can see that Chella Choi, her sternum and her head are definitely a lot more out over her toes, and she's a little taller in her legs. So just get a little taller, rock forward, back away from the ball, give you a little bit more freedom and athleticism to shine through impact. As we initiate the takeaway, simply want to draw the golf club back by rotating the shoulders, bringing the arms and hands back as well as the club, referred to sort of as a one-piece takeaway where everything's sort of moving all together, and we're drawing the club back right along the red line, which means we're initiating a takeaway that's coming back on proper swing plane. As she continues to move the golf club through this zone, we got to start to incorporate some wrist hinge into play, whereby we're transitioning the club head from being below the hands to now being above the hands. At this point in time, we're going to work the golf club from red up to yellow as we complete that shoulder rotation. Left arm is going to get situated on the yellow line with the club shaft within the blue-yellow V zone. We've created a full shoulder rotation, about a very stable right leg, keeping the weight on the inside part of the right foot. As we go ahead and take a look at your golf swing here, you do a great job turning your shoulders, drawing your hands and arms back. That looks terrific, and the golf club's coming back on a very nice swing plane at this point in time. As we continue to move that golf club back, club's still on perfect plane. We've got to start to see some wrist hinge here shortly, transitioning the club head from below to above the hands, which you do, which is great right there. Continued turn and working the club back to the top. Right about here, start to work your arms a little bit too vertically and sort of up your chest cavity here, and you're starting to get a little too steep with the arms, and you're also standing up out of your posture. So one of the things we want to do as we make a backswing, the whole concept of achieving good posture at address is to set those angles and maintain those angles during the swing. So we can see with Chella Choi here, if we just take a look at her spinal position, we can see here that she's basically going to draw the golf club back and rotate while maintaining that axis. Okay? When you bring the golf club back, if we go back down to address, we had already mentioned and stated that you have good spinal position here, but when you're rotating and bringing the golf club back, you're standing right up out of your shot. So your spine has completely changed its position right here. Okay? And we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and undo those lines. We'll go ahead and take a look at the transition coming back into the golf ball now. As we create that transition, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left, fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind our core and fire our hands, and in doing so making sure the golf club is moving from yellow back down on top of red. And that's exactly what we see here with Chella Choi. The club is returning right back to being on plane right here. At this point in time, the other thing we want to pay attention to, so with your descending motion here, drop your hands and arms very nicely. Again, we can see that you're coming into the ball off that very vertical spine that you had. At this point in time, I really like the relationship of the left arm and the golf club. So we can see here that if we take a look at your lead forearm and the club, we have that backwards check mark, so that's great. Only issue is the golf club has not returned back to plane down here. So as we continue to come into the ball, we're coming into the ball a little bit from over the top, a little bit too steep, and that's going to influence the path of the club, whereas Chella Choi, the club's right on plane, and then as she continues to track into the ball, we can see that the golf club comes into the ball basically right from that red line, right from on plane, and that's going to obviously allow her to expand out to the ball with respect to her path. If we track yours coming in the ball, we can see the club coming in a little bit steep and might get caught a little bit outside there. If we just sort of connect the dots, we can sort of get a good visual as to how that club was approaching the ball. So it's just coming a little bit over the top, outside of the red line, and ideally we like to see that club tracking into the ball directly from on plane and that red line. The other thing we can pay attention to here as well is that your right heel has not come off the ground. We can see with Chella Choi that hers has, so she's obviously got a little bit more weight on her left side at point of impact, and then as she drives through that golf shot, the hands, arms, body continues to coil. And if we're going to get into a good finishing position, allowing our hips to square around, we got to get that right heel up off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot, ultimately being able to count all the spikes in the shoe. So right here we can see that she's right up on the toe of her right foot. We can count all the spikes in the shoe, all the weights on the left side, left leg posts up, hips are square to the target, hands are high, clubs back in behind her. As we watch you carry your golf shot through here, we can see that you stay firmly fixed back on that right foot. So one of the things you definitely want to do is you want to learn to create proper footwork through to the finish, where your right heel comes up off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot, and that'll just put all your weight on your left side and allow your upper body to complete the golf swing a lot easier. Because right now you're having to create a lot of flexibility to get your upper torso to turn like that with your right foot basically fixed to the ground. A quick little summary here. Your hands are working really well. You bring them back, fire them through. Your core's working good. You got a good coil, good uncoil. Your uncoil on the way through would be better if we learn to create better footwork through to the finish. So just very simply bring that right heel up off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot. Again, dealing with your posture and your balance, just would like to have you a little bit further away from the ball and rocking towards it. And then there's the most important thing for you right now is that you need to create your rotation coming back, maintaining that spinal axis. So we can very clearly see that you stand up and you pull away from the ball. And this is the reason why you're hitting the ball off the toe of the club. So if I just mark your head here, and we watch you bring the golf club back, we already know that your spine straightens up. Look how far away you are from that line. So ultimately, the golf club is going to be that much further away and inside of the ball. So when you return back to the hitting zone, if you don't dive back to that position, you're going to glance that ball off the toe of the club. So look at where your head is right now. So there you are, you're hitting the ball basically low off the toe, and that's just because you're up out of your shot. So your spine is too straight, and you've pulled away from the golf shot. That's causing you to glance that ball off the toe. If you maintained better posture with your spine into the shot, your head would be back down on that line, and that would effectively bring the golf club closer to the ball, and you would hit the ball off the center of the club face there. Okay, so that's a very important aspect in your golf swing for sure, is understanding how your spine works through the entire golf swing. And then, as mentioned, we just want to get into a better finish with that better footwork. Okay. If at any point in time you'd like to work on any of these aspects of your golf swing, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to help you out. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all and you guys are looking for a unique gift to give to the participants, feel free to contact me. All my contact information is at the end of this video. I'd be happy to discuss my swing analysis program with you or anybody involved in the event. Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you have a great summer.